Quest 34, we're still on it. It's a cold day though, I'll give it that. We're in the depths of the Kendal area actually of Yorkshire Downs. So we're east by about 8 miles to a place called Skelsmergh, which is really, really nice. Keystone Church, Grail, said to be here between 311 AD and 368 AD. Understand that, but as you say, well hang on a minute, the church was only built in 1869. I get a little bit sort of repetitive, but we know that all these churches were built on earlier sacred sites and energies, and that's why they're built here. But there's some brilliant things around here to see in this church. Lovely church, lovely community, very clean and tidy. Let's have a look at this to start with. Lovely altar, I love that. It's absolutely nice. Lovely details and engravings on there. For the, that's the altar, I meant font. I thought, hang on, I said altar. That's a bit bizarre. Anyway, let's moving on. Moving swiftly on, as we say. Here's one I prepared earlier. Great, nice. I like the fact that he is there as the Saru, the King of Kings. And as she would so do so, and should do, Mary bows down to him. So that's very good. And amazing piece. The church itself has got a really nice feel to it, really, to be fair. And yes, I'm sure we've got the hand there. I'm sure we've got the little sign in the hand there as well, which is brilliant. So that's very good. So the area is only say 8 miles east of Kendal. You wouldn't think it to believe it. So here, often in the churches, they're sort of hidden in plain sight. And here we have them. We've got the story of the Grail, which is amazing. We've got the book there, which is amazing. Note the staff and note the bauble on the staff, which is quite interesting as well. Hands not doing too much of gesture, but please, please, please do note, if you can, his feet. Now look at the angle of his feet. That is, he's set there in a masonic way of his feet, which most people will probably miss. The key, fine. So we've got the book, we've got the key, keys to the kingdom, wise chappy, very good. Notice they've all got their columns next to them, so they're quite interesting that way. So we've got the book, the key, and then we have it. We have the cup of life, the Grail itself, which is an amazing piece of artwork. I'm not quite sure how much you get to see of that. But do notice that it's only the first one of those three, those tiptricks, that actually has the Masonic feet in synchronization, which is really interesting to note. But it's so discreet that most people miss it, to be fair. Okay, altar-wise, lovely altar. We've got the right part here. This is the altar. By the way, for those who don't know. But wonderful. And what I love about it is the Alpha to Omega down the bottom here. Amazing symbology. And yes, we've got our wonderful Lamb of God. And there at the bottom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. So interesting, the redemption through his blood. Not quite sure on that particular one, really, to be fair. That's really true, to be fair. But it's an interesting sentence, to say the least. Here we've got the lovely little flag here. Very nice. It looks fairly old. I'd say it's probably sort of, I mean, I don't know. It could be around 1950s, 1960s. I'm guessing 1960s. That's what my feel of it is with it. So I think that's probably in that range, to be honest. I do know along the floorway here, we've got a lot of lovely symbology. We've got the fleur-de-lis, as always, the lily. As we know, the lily is the main flower of life, which is interesting because most people associate the lily with death. So it's the most important flower for life, in fact. So quite the reverse. So we'll just head down here momentarily. So, and you can see, just sort of give you a little pan round here to give you a feel for the church. Imagine that back in the day it would have had hundreds of people in here. Probably gets about 20, 30 people, I'd have thought, in a modern day. Okay, so the pulpit is quite interesting, very plain. I'd imagine that is the original. It certainly feels and looks like the original from the build, as we say. And let's not forget, so we know that this particular church was built in 1869 AD. So, you know, it's a fairly young beast in its making, I guess. Yeah, some lovely tapestry works. And they've survived. Daffodils, now that's an interesting concept, the daffodil. The daffodil does have, and the sunflower. So we've got daffodil and sunflower there. So daffodil, sunflower, lily, they're all representative of faith in many respects. And this one I absolutely adore. Yes, it's a modern replaced stained glass, but it's absolutely amazing with its colour, its fine details. We've got Machado, we've got Jesus with his, just about you can make out the sign of the hand there, which is sort of hidden discreetly away. We've got Mary asking. I mean, it's just beautiful with those bluey purple robes and the red and the golden hair. And she's asking sort of why. It's almost like, why? You know, how interesting. But yeah, wonderful church, Skelsmergh, east of Kendal, Quest 34. Really worth a little trip up here. Bit of a cold day, but such an interesting landscape. Worth watching.